I really wish this had been a thing about 6 years ago when I first started getting all my video gear, because this little device literally would have saved me hundreds of dollars. When it comes to filmmaking, being able to quickly move your camera from one piece of gear to the next is really important, especially with any type of live events. And that is why I have about 4 of these Manfrotto fluid heads on top of all my gear, from tripods to monopods and sliders. And when I do weddings, I would even put a Manfrotto base plate on my slider with another fluid head on top so that I could quickly mount this on top of a tripod while being able to put my camera on top of that fluid head to get the shots as efficiently as possible. So let me know down in the comments what types of support equipment you use, and if you've come up with any kind of interesting rigs to make them more efficient, because it's always impressive the types of things y'all come up with. But I was talking to Manfrotto about how this quick movement between rigs is important to me when filming, and they suggested and sent over some of their Move quick release systems for me to try out. It's a simple, lightweight locking system made out of hard anodized machined aluminum that can hold up to 44 pounds. So what is it that makes this little thing so great? Well, rather than having all of these fluid heads attached to all of my gear, instead I can have a single fluid head mounted to a plate and then have multiple flat bases on all of my other gear. And aside from just ease of use, there's some big benefits in both cost and weight of your gear. Although they're on sale now, each of these fluid heads cost me $240 for a total of $960 for all 4 combined. But these Move quick release systems are only $100 each. So I could have invested in a single fluid head along with 4 of these for a total of $640, saving me over $300 on all of my needed gear. Plus, if you decide to upgrade your fluid head in the future, you only need to get 1 rather than replacing all of them. But less weight is also a big deal when carrying around a lot of video equipment at events, and each of these fluid heads is 2 pounds, so 4 of those total is going to be 8 pounds, whereas these Move systems are only a half a pound, so 4 of these plus 1 of these is only 4 pounds, or half the weight. Plus, look at the size difference. It's gonna save you a lot of space because these things are tiny. The flat base has a diameter of 60 millimeters and mounts a standard 3/8-inch thread that'll work with many different tripods, slider, monopod, or other gear combinations. And the plate has a standard 3/8-inch screw along with a 1/4-inch top attachment screw for compatibility with a huge range of products. So all you need to do is attach the flat base to any product that you want to attach your fluid head to, then you can easily pop off the entire assembly and move it to your next piece of equipment. I use a monopod a lot when shooting live events like a wedding, and I could see myself noticing a good place for a slider shot and then simply pop off the fluid head from the monopod and transfer it to the slider setup. And then when it's time for the ceremony, I could pop off the fluid head from the slider and then move it over to my tripod, and I'm good to go. And I also really like how I could just take one of these plates and attach it to the bottom of my slider so that I could then just attach my slider quickly to the tripod legs rather than having to attach it to the top of the tripod head. I used to keep a plate on the bottom of my slider so that I could quickly attach it to the tripod head, but the further away you get from the ball mount, the more likely it is to tip. But now with being able to put this flat base right on my tripod legs, I have the ability to attach the slider much closer to the ball mount, shortening that moment arm, and this allows me to go full travel on my slider without running into that tipping problem. And it's also really useful for mounting a gimbal to a tripod, because although most gimbals come with a little tripod attachment here, it's nice if you need to sit it down to take a rest, but that doesn't really help out much if you're wanting to keep recording something during that time. Like when I'm shooting a wedding, during the ceremony I'll usually have multiple cameras set up, and then towards the end I'll take one of my cameras off, set it up on here, go up to the middle so I can get a moving shot of them coming down the aisle after they kiss and are pronounced married. But now with mounting the plate from the Move system to the bottom of my gimbal, I can quickly attach my gimbal to the tripod so that I can already have my camera set up on the gimbal ahead of time and record the ceremony with that, while also being able to move it around using my phone. Then I can quickly pop it off, walk down the aisle, and get the shots I need without any additional setup time. And those are just a few of the ways that I can see how this little Move quick release system is going to make my filmmaking process even quicker, because after all, ease of use is one of the most important things to me when it comes to filmmaking, especially live events where you cannot go back and redo shots because you didn't have your gear set up in time. So if you have any questions about this thing, post it down in the comments and I'll answer whatever I can. Help you out there. I have a private Facebook group linked also in the description where I can help you out with your filmmaking journey. But if this was helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next one.